Hello, welcome to the Life Update Luminary Podcast XD fucking meme shit thing, XDDDD. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. All I know is that I like to, since December, I've been kind of like keeping tabs on where things are at each month, and I finally realized I have a way to kind of explain them in an outward way or whatever. I don't know how much introductory shit is necessary, so I'm just gonna kind of go into immediately explaining the point of this, supposedly, if there is a point. So recently, in the past few weeks, maybe month, 2 months, I've become fond of my voice, and I don't mean that as in like, well, obviously you want to hear yourself talk. I get it. Haha. Turn that off. Anyway, it's more so that when I left high school, the number one thing I was interested in was just doing something with my voice because I was pretty happy with it. I was pretty stoked about how I sounded and whatever. And that's never really gone away. It's not like I was afraid to speak or anything, but just that I just kind of fell out of being interested in it. So I don't know if I'm going to do radio stuff. I don't know if I'm even going to keep doing this podcast. We're going to see what happens, okay? But either way, I just wanted a platform with which to speak my words, and fortunately and unfortunately, in the internet age, everybody has a voice, whether they really deserve one or not. So, yeah, here we are on the Life Update podcast. I don't know. Let's explain some more. So, I like to keep track of things a lot. Because because there's so many things that I'm interested in doing that if I had to simply keep track of them in my brain, it would just be a shit show. Because, like, I'm really into video games, I'm really into anime, I'm really into music, and if I didn't keep track of them in some written form, and I only had, like, the things I could go off the top of in my brain and be like, well, when I think about this is something I want to do, I'd have maybe 10 for each thing, when the reality's like, there's like literally 300 games I want to play, like 500 anime I want to watch, and like 50 bands I want to get into, right? So I would hate losing all of that and not being able to know what the fuck I wanted to check out. So when I keep track of things, now that we're kind of moving past the introductory phase here, when I keep track of things, I like to... Let me just turn the record volume down a little. There we go, cool. I don't want to peak too much. When I keep track of things, I've got two major tools that help me get that done. Since May, I believe, of 2018, I've been using a notepad document. I use a lot of notepad documents. I have a notepad document called the day-by-day play-by-play. And this document is basically my daily planner. It's not anything like down to the hour or down to the minute, but it is a day-by-day play-by-play. So, what happens is, I write down, firstly, I title every day as 5 dashes, the month, the day, the year, the day of the week. So, I failed to mention, as I like to, I don't even know how long this has been going already, but I started this, I don't know, like, what, 10 minutes ago? I don't know if I'm going to, probably like 7 minutes ago. Anyway, right now it's 2:29 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, June 3rd, 2019. Okay, so, for example, I would write it out 5 dashes, June 3rd, comma, 2019, Saturday, right? Or no, it's not Saturday, it's Monday. Anyway, and then just under each day, I write down what I gotta do. Sometimes I'll reorder things. I'll say, well, I should do this first, I should do that. Maybe I'll do this sooner because it's easier to do, and then I can save the shittier stuff for later. But yeah, then I have it set to open every time I turn my computer back on. So I'm instantly reminded, hey, this is what I have to do today. And as a result, it's become the norm for me. I hardly even like need to check it when I do turn my computer on, because often when I go to sleep now, I'm checking it when I am like randomly twiddling my thumbs in the middle of the day. I'll open it and be like, yeah, is there anything I had to do today? Or, maybe I've been procrastinating. I'm like, how much more can I procrastinate today? How much time will these things really take me? So basically, it really boils down to holding yourself to using a new tool that you've made for yourself. The other thing that really helps me out, and the last part that's really helpful about the day-by-day play-by-play is that I plan out about the next month in advance, and then when there's about 5 days left in the month, I'll plan out the next month. And under the current month, I've got an important dates section, which is anything that isn't relevant to this month but is coming down the line. All the way at the bottom, April 24th, 2020, when my Xbox Live Gold runs out, where that's currently set to end. So, when shit is approaching, I can at least have, at the very least, have a 3 or 4 day notice period, like as it's coming down the pipeline each day. So that's pretty fucking cool. I'll write down chores, I'll write down stuff I want to do in my free time, stuff I have to do, whether it's like school stuff or whatever, little projects I may be in the middle of, like, I need to copy this to USB, I need to recheck up on my backward compatibility titles on my Xbox, etc., etc., and then also I can write down, like, when games come out. And whether or not I get the game is kind of irrelevant to me. I just want to be conscious of and aware when a new game comes out, and I can say, boom, by the way, I'm going to start seeing posts and people talking about this game coming out. So that way nothing fucking catches me off guard. Nothing comes by in my life that I kind of have to be like, oh yeah, I guess that happened. I mean, that kind of happens with me for things I experience myself, but we can get into that some other time. At this point, things I don't even experience personally leave a bigger impact than those that I do, I suppose, but we can get into that later. That's not depressing, it's just like a weird, I don't know, it's just a weird quirk. Anyway, that's the day-by-day play-by-play. Pretty fucking great. You don't need Microsoft Word or anything goofy to fucking track things. What I love about Notepad, it's just a fucking blank screen. All the characters take up exactly like their little like rectangle of space. So even if you have like a bunch of exclamation points or you have a bunch of O's, they're going to take up the exact same amount of space, which is nice if you want to try and keep things uniform, which I do. If you have subtasks within something, if it's like, well, I need to work on this project, and for this project, I need to do these certain tasks in a row, just tab them out so they have like their own subsection. Things can get a little ugly when you get down to like subtasks and you have like a tab for like this header and then you have like a double tab for something. But for the most part, running with like this directly against like the left wall of the window and then like subtasks are indented one tab, pretty fucking great. Like I said, I've been using it for about a year now. Pretty good. There was actually something pretty big that I missed last year because I started doing the day-by-day play-by-play like a week after that came up, and so I forgot to write it down. But other than that, it's been pretty fucking Gucci. Anything important I gotta do, like a dental appointment, I can just jot it down ahead of time, and since I'm looking at it every day anyway, I just know when things are happening and what's happening when. So pretty fucking good. It's pretty great. I don't know if I can. Well, I would say I'd recommend it. I think everybody benefits from a planner. And in middle school and high school, they gave us free planners. Well, in middle school, they gave us free planners. High school, they were like, no, you gotta fucking buy it for $20 from the school store. Okay, well, I didn't even fucking use that dumbass planner in middle school, so I don't fucking need it. All I remember, and I actually still have, I think my 7th and 8th grade middle school planners, one thing I vividly fucking remember, that I can go, like, I can go grab it from my room right now. I know exactly where it is. One thing I remember vividly is in 7th grade, I believe that's when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out, kind of like the biggest deal of the century. And I distinctly remember I was like, ooh, I don't know about school shit, fuck school shit, but I'm going to write down on Saturday, I want to get to level blah 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 and unlock the F2000. That'd be really cool. So I like set a gaming goal for myself in my school planner and like hardly fucking use the school planner for anything else. There would always be funny pictures. Well, not funny pictures. They'd be like stock photos of like kids and like teachers in like the bottom left corner of like each like full page spread of like the week. And pretty late into the year, we'd just start fucking doodling all over them. It was pretty great. There'd be like a kid like smiling because they're like sitting at a desk with like a pencil in their hand writing in a book, and they're like smiling. And I just remember at one point I like gave them like a pirate hat. I put a fucking eye patch on them, and I like blacked out a bunch of their teeth so they looked like they had really shitty teeth. Just like stupid stuff like that. Anyway, getting kind of distracted. I have a thing for going off on random tangents, and as I'm sure we'll all be reminded of quite frequently soon enough. Anyway, day by day, play by play, I recommend it. Again, most important thing of trying to establish a new positive in your life is putting in the effort to like do it voluntarily for a while. You have to consciously and voluntarily think about doing it before it will become the norm, and you can really enjoy doing it just subconsciously, and then you truly absorb it into your being, and you say, wow, this is really great. I'm really glad I have this thing because it's super beneficial to me and it's really helpful. So yeah, anyway, day by day, play by play since about May 2018. I've said that title so many times because at first I didn't have a name for it for like the first month, and then I thought it would be really funny. It was originally called Day by Day and Important Dates or something like that, or Daily Notes, something like that. And I was like, I need a goofy fucking name for this because this shit's working pretty good. So I want to bestow upon this the honor that it rightfully deserves. So yeah, Day by Day, Play by Play. I thought it was a pretty funny name. At this point, if there was any comedic value or cleverness, it's definitely been diluted and is not at all funny, based on how many times I've said it so far. But, that's the name. I'm sticking to it. Fuck you if you don't like it. So, the other super important thing for me for organizing, I've got some fucking notes here. I've actually made a grand fucking plan for this whole fucking podcast thing. I don't even know how long it's gonna go. It might be pretty fucking long. Anyway, so the other thing that helps me organize what the fuck I'm doing, I've got a Google spreadsheet. I've actually got a lot of Google spreadsheets because I like to make notes on a lot of things. Most of those, though, are gaming related or just miscellaneous one-off topics. The big one, the big fucking absolute state of to-do, the absolute state of to-do. Okay, that's not some weird city in Western Europe. To do, don't go there. It's got bad restaurants and it's very humid, really uncomfortable. Really can't recommend it. The absolute state of to do is like my end all be all collection of like, here's all the things I want to do, and it's not as simple. Fortunately, it's not as simple as listing each thing on an individual column and saying, well, I want to do this at some point, and then I just have like my list of 1,000 things or whatever. But I have other places where I can organize these things, and so then I just take the number every month. Okay, let me start from the beginning. The absolute state of to-do is great. I've got a bunch of different tabs. I've got a chart with a bunch of that's color coded based on like what am I currently doing in the realm of anime? What am I doing in games? What's my current like Twitch streaming projects? Even though I don't really Twitch stream, my bad. It's a constant work in progress. I don't do it very often, but it's never like I give up. I'm never like, oh, I don't really care about Twitch streaming. I'm just like, man, it'd be great to Twitch stream, but like I really don't care to right now, essentially. Anyway, got all my stuff. I know what I'm doing, like my next like 10 things I want to do. But here's the most important part, okay? Here's where it all began before it spiraled out of fucking control and I made this weird color-coded thing. On the absolute state of to-do, okay, I collected, and I continue to collect every month as like a checkup, and that's why I think this podcast is resilient. I think if I just remember to do it every month, which I can just fucking mark in the day-by-day, play-by-play, the DBDPBP, I can just consolidate every like area, every like group of things that has its own like section of stuff. What do I mean by that? That's kind of a fucking word salad, Spencer. I'm not really following you. I'm about to turn this off because your verbal diarrhea, it's not very good. It smells really bad. You really should eat less fiber. Anyway, so let's talk the two main things, right? The two big ones, the two big ways of categorizing things that like follow into this, but then there's like maybe 10 total. I'll go over each thing, okay? I'm gonna go fucking deep dive into this shit. So I'm into games and anime, right? In order of how I got into them, my big three fucking hobbies: video games, music, anime. Video games, I was playing a fucking Sega Genesis and a PS1 from like elementary school. That shit was locked in, okay? I don't know about you. I grew up playing video games, but after I graduated from high school, I didn't really have time for it. So instead, I just fucking sit and watch Netflix because it autoplays for me and I don't have to really pay attention. It'll do everything for me. Fuck you, okay? Stick to the hobbies that you are passionate about. Don't fucking ever fall away from them because people think they're not cool. Fuck you, buddy. Anyway, I just popped the mic. Anyway, games. Steam has categories. I've got like 500 games on Steam. We're like actually finally talking about this after like 3 minutes of build up. Steam has categories, pretty great. So at some point, I collected a shitload of games because, you know, you buy a Humble Bundle because it's got 2 games you care about that's cheaper than like one of them by itself, and you're like, I need to buy this whole fucking Humble Bundle, and then you get like 20 games and you don't fucking care about most of them. So I went through my Steam library at one point, and I like sat myself down. I went through like all 500 of them, and I said, okay, individual game basis, let's look at this. Store page, I don't know, I've never really heard of this, doesn't really look like my thing, move on. I went through every single fucking one of them, and I marked them with a plan to play category. But it gets deeper. Okay, so there's plan to play, finish, which means I want to start this game at some point and I want to finish the story mode. Plan to play, revisit. Games I've finished before that I want to replay on PC because I primarily played all my games on console over the years, and I only moved to PC 2 years ago. There's plan to play 100%. Actually, that's like a different category now. But it's basically like, hey, I want to 100% this game. That's maybe like 20 games. Okay, pretty big deal. But like, they're games that I either think 100%ing them is really manageable and pretty doable, or it's a game I really, really respect, such as Dark Souls, and I want to get all the achievements and 100% it out of respect for it. So, for example, Dark Souls 1 through 3 and like DMC, Devil May Cry 1 through 5, for example. I want to 100% those games. They're all work in progress. They all kind of get a little bit of progress here and there. Anyway, let's actually open up Steam here. What else do we got? And then there's the plan to play on hold, which is finish, but like I really want to play these games, you know. Then perhaps the most important category of the whole thing, plan to play current, as in these are the games I'm currently in the middle of. Pretty great. And then we've got the 100% planned category. So that's what the 100% thing is turned into, because there's some games that I have made really significant progress in. So I wanted to segregate them into, these are the games that I want to 100% that I've made a good amount of progress into, and then these are the ones that I haven't really started on because I didn't want to like drown myself, because I was like, it's actually like 32 games that I want to 100%, and I was like tired of like drowning myself every time. I'm like, I don't really feel, what should I play? I've got 32 things here I want to put 50 hours into it at some point, so I segregated it. Really happy with it. So, Steam categories. You might be saying, well, Spencer, that's great, but aren't they just going to fall into like this weird middle section starting with P or whatever? No. Because you put an asterisk in front of them, and then they'll become the top of the category section. So then they become more like meta categories. Pretty fucking good. I'm kind of a god when it comes to this stuff. Anyway, and then also above that, there's actually a group of categories that have the double asterisk specialty. Okay, what's more meta than the state of my interest in a game than perhaps where it physically exists in reality? So I have I have categories set up for what drive it's on, because it could be on the C drive, my built-in 128 gigabyte SSD. It could be on the D drive, the 1000 or the 1 terabyte hard drive, or it could be on the F drive, the 2 terabyte external. And I have very specific uses for all of them, frankly. So it's very important for me to do that, because despite it being the year 2019, it is in fact the current year in which I'm speaking. Still, on Steam, you can sort by the size a game takes up on disk and sort everything by that, but you can't sort by what disk it's on, which, if you ask me, pretty fucking stupid. Other thing, why aren't there folders for screenshots? I wanted to make a folder of screenshots for games that I've 100%ed. 100%ed? Fucking take a screen cap of the map, of like the map or like the stat screen, and then like put it in a little folder as like little badge of honor or whatever. And then but yeah, anyway. So there's that. Other thing. So the other like big thing, anime. Great website called MyAnimeList. It's not the only way to do this. There's also like kitsu.io, which I believe is what Hummingbird turned into. And there's like AniList. I don't know. I use MyAnimeList because this website looks pretty benign. It's like the definition of a site that looks a little bit ugly, but it's also it just does what it needs to extremely fucking well. So thank you, MyAnimeList. MyAnimeList, you can fucking track all the anime and all the manga you're watching, that you've completed, that are on hold, that you've dropped, and that you plan to watch/read. Pretty fucking good. Anytime somebody, and I'm up to like 500 shows I want to watch, because some of it is like, ooh, I watched a 30-minute video, I'm like, wow, this sounds fucking amazing. And then maybe like I saw a GIF and I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. I'll watch a 12-episode show just for that GIF. Well, we'll see when we get there, right? But anyway, so we've got things like that, and we've got things like Steam, we've got things like MyAnimeList to track all these things. But what do I mean by I consolidate all of them? Well, every month I update the absolute state of to-do in a bunch of categories, and I'm going to fucking break them all down right now. So, games. Okay, first of all, I will say there's 6 categories. All right, you can like start a little note. Get your pen and paper. Don't put the game down. Get the fucking pen and paper. Thank you. God. Okay. So, this games category. These are games that I have that literally are just raring to go. I want to play them. I'm super stoked to play every single one of these fucking games, and just haven't played them yet. For most people, it's because maybe they're lying and that they're actually not that interested in them. For me, it's that I've been holding myself lately to finish like the dozen things I was in the middle of for like the past year. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that for sure. I've got a lot of fucking things I want to talk about. We've been going for at least like 20 minutes now. Pretty crazy. I gotta get a swig of dew. So, games. Currently sitting at, this is like how we're going to start the Life Update podcast, okay? We've had like 20 minutes of introductory bullshit, so I can explain. Games, currently sitting at 314. You heard it here fucking first, folks. Between the 20 games or so on my Xbox also has categories, I'm not going to go into everything that I have categories for. Between like the 20 games on my Xbox and the other games on Steam or whatever, I have 314 video games that I have individually looked at and been like, yeah, I want to play that at some point. So, and they vary from like, oh, I've heard things about this. I'm not maybe sold, but I'll play through it just because, to like, oh, holy shit, I've been dying to play this for fucking ever. And I'm really just like holding myself back as like almost like a testament to my own strength of will to be like, wow, I've owned this game that I really, really want to play for like 3 years and I still haven't played it because I'm just that insanely strong and unbreakable. Anyway, so first category, games, 314. Next category, games wishlisted. Pretty crazy, right? How many we got? 505. Okay, these are all the most recent numbers for this month. I updated each month as I visit all these things and reconsolidate the numbers. 505 games wishlisted. Like 90 of those are games on the PlayStation Network because I don't own a PS3 or a PS4. There's a lot of fucking great exclusive games I want to play there. Also, like PS1 or PS2 games that I still physically own that I want to get digitally to just kind of future-proof them. And then obviously just a fuckload of Steam games because like I just hear about all these fucking games that I'm like, I want to play that. And then I'm just like, boom, throw it on the wish list. So, games wishlisted, 505. Anime to watch. This is pretty simple. I just put together what's on hold and what's planned to watch on MyAnimeList. Thankfully, MyAnimeList is like the one place I need for anime database bullshit. Pretty fucking great because it lists like characters and voice artist, actor, actresses, whatever, and like directors, all that bullshit. Pretty great. Anime I want to watch. 693. Okay. This isn't even all of the sequels and all of like the side bullshit for each show. At some point in time, I was like, well, technically, I will want to watch this show and then the second season and then also the specials, so I might as well all put them on plan to watch. But I found it would be way smarter to just like put the starting point, and then when I get there, if I finish it, I can be like, cool, where do I go from here? And then watch those things. But also just imagine how bloated my list would be and also how much goddamn time that would take to fucking do that. So, after anime to watch, manga to read. Currently sitting at 80, okay? For the longest time, it was like 10. It was like a few shows that I'd seen but didn't completely adapt the manga. And I'm like, well, I better read the manga. And then it was like all parts of JoJo, okay? Still haven't read all parts of JoJo. Pretty sad about that. But now I'm sitting at 80 manga to read. Pretty devastating. And then the last section is kind of like a little... Well, it's actually section 5 of 6, but you'll see why it's the last section in a moment. Kind of a little like whisper in the wind. Books to read. Like genuine literal books, 6. Because I've collected a few books over the course of a year. There's also a lot of books I want to read in general that like I want to get at some point, but for now I'm just like doubling down on this other shit I have to do. So here we are. Category number 6. What's the deal? This is, and this is the most eloquent way to put it, I have thought about this, and after putting my lexicon blacksmiths to work, they have produced this steel. That's just called Total. You know, just about 20 miles east of To-Do, you got the town of Total. Pretty cool. It's a little native, so don't disrespect them. Just be careful when you go there. Total currently sitting at... Here, I'm sorry, let me... Actually, let's add all these up first. I think that'd be funny. So, let's review 314 games to play that I own right now. Like, literally, I have these right now. I can install them and play them within, like, an hour. All of these. Most of them are already installed. Anyway, games, 314. Games wishlisted, 505. Anime to watch, 693. I know these numbers just get bigger and bigger. They're not stacking on each other. These are individual numbers that are not manipulated by the other. Manga to read, 80. Books to read, 6. Going back, for example, games wishlisted does not have any bearing on games. So anyway, all those numbers put together, you're looking at, right now, in my life, and I'm only making such a big deal out of the review this first time so I can explain everything. Right now in my life, there's 1,598. 1598. 1,598 things I want to do in my free time. Okay? That's pretty fucking insane. All right, I haven't done this math for a while, so I'm actually gonna do this right now. But there's a pretty funny thing I like to do. Okay, I believe that the best way to oh Jesus, I really don't like that update to the math. If I like to kind of calculate it like this. Okay, if each of these things takes me 3 days on average to do, and I believe this is pretty conservative because it's like, well, you've got like an indie game that I might drop in 20 minutes / you can finish in like 20 minutes or an hour or whatever, all the way to The Witcher 3, which is going to be like 100 fucking hours, you know, and then you've got anime that are like, you got like a movie, or you've got like a 3-episode show, or you've got like a 6-episode show, you know, whatever. Things you could do in a very short amount of time versus like, a big shonen that's like 200 episodes long obviously can't be done in 3 days. So 3 days is my extremely conservative average, I like to believe. Somewhere kind of in the middle, you know? If every one of these things, and I just did the math again, pretty not happy with it, if each of these things takes me 3 days to do, if I had all them right now, that's not even including like the wish list thing, 1,598. So each took me 3 days. That comes out to over 13 years. 13 years of stuff for me to do. Okay? And here's like the shittiest part, right? I'm not even like finishing things right now. Right now, I'm like backed up because I've got like 3 or 4 things that I'm in the middle of that I'm like, man, once I finish that, it's gonna be fucking great. And I've been touting that for like a year. So really just kind of wasting everybody's time by not finally really doing it. It's been really slow progress. It has been constant progress. It's just been slow progress. So, yeah, if I started right now and I finished a thing every 3 days, which is a pretty goddamn breakneck pace, seriously, if you think about that, yeah, I'd be done in 2032? Yeah, 2032, not 2040. So, it's pretty fucking crazy. That's all I really got to say about that, frankly. So, pretty fucking insane. I'm going to take a quick, short break here, and I'll be back. Alright, we're back. Sorry, it's been a couple minutes. I know that didn't sound like anything to you, because I just paused the recording. But anyway, my nose was kind of bothering me. Still kind of is. So I'm sorry ahead of time. Anyway, so 1,598. That's where we are right now. That's up 16 from last month. Pretty crazy. The idea is hopefully I can complete more things in a month than I add. And as soon as that number goes down for once, I'm going to be pretty goddamn happy. Anyway, I want to go into a little more detail about this thing, just because I can, and if I just get all the information out now, I'll be pretty fucking stoked. So, I have a chart set up in another tab that charts it all out, like a fucking line graph, and I have a bunch of lines for everything, so hopefully I can see the numbers start going down at some point in time, even though it seems like every single one of the numbers just goes up every month, which is very sad. The games section is broken down into Xbox games and Steam games, which are currently sitting at 24 and 290 respectively. And there's also a tab for PlayStation games, but as I've said before, I don't have a PS3 or PS4 right now, and I have played all of my PS2 games, so don't really have anything to do there. The games wish list is busted into Amazon wish list, games I can only get physically. Pretty bummed about that. Wish I could get all my games digitally these days. I have an auxiliary wish list, which is a different Google spreadsheet that tracks all the games that I can't wish list for some reason because they're like going to come out, or they're like Nintendo games because I don't think Nintendo has a wish list. Pretty dumb. Battle.net wish list. Got some stuff on there. Want to play Diablo, whatever. Origin wish list. Games on Origin, pretty easy. Dungeon Keeper. They have this really cool Command and Conquer like complete collection that has like 20 of the fucking games for like $15. It's like every single old Command and Conquer. I'm like, fuck yeah, give that to me. Syndicate. And then like a bunch of the very last few Pandemic games. While they were published by EA before they got shut down. So like Mercenaries 2 and the Saboteur and shit like that. The PSN wish list, already talked about. The Steam wish list, pretty self-explanatory. And then the Xbox wish list, because Xbox One technically does have a wish list feature, but it's like kind of hidden away in the store. And they haven't really talked about it. And it's also kind of shitty because you can't really access it online outside of your Xbox, like you can't access it on your PC. So I don't know. It's kind of a really shady way of doing it. Now, not really stoked about it, but anything I can put on there, I have. So, yeah. So that's all that shit broken down. Okay. That is the absolute state and the absolute state check-in. So where is real life sitting at? The shit that isn't connected to technology. Okay. Right now, I'm wrapping up working on my audio recording / production certification at a community college of unknown name. And it's been pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked. The past few quarters have been taking just one class. It's been really fucking like lax, really easy. I've been really having a really simple high life because I have one class that first of all, I have one class, and the class meets once a week. And the class consists of get together. Some people present what they're currently working on, and you just like discuss it. And you're like, "Ooh, well, I think the bass could be a bit louder. Oh, I really like this part. That was pretty cool." So what do you got to do in the class over the course of like 3 months? You have to present twice at some point. Doesn't even have to be anything done. In fact, it shouldn't be anything done. It should be stuff you are in the middle of and be like, "Ooh, well, here's an idea." You could bring in like a minute of just like riffing, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. You could put this beat, whatever." Pretty simple. It's just the pure, not pressure, but just the anxiety of presenting, not only doing something in front of the class, but to also present like a piece of art you are currently in the process of creating of. You have to be extremely vulnerable to do that. But yeah, any otherwise than that, pretty easy. There's a class project that the teacher will assign that everybody has to do, and then you review everybody's iteration of it. Like here's a bunch of stems, mix them together, and let's see who how their mixes turn out, or whatever. And then for the final, still no like conventional like pen and paper bullshit or like questionnaire or anything. It's just like, hey, finish something and bring it in, and we'll just kind of like hang out and have a good time and listen to everybody's finished stuff. Not really criticize it, just be like, oh, that was pretty cool. And just chill out, pretty good. All eat lunch together, and yeah, pretty fun, pretty great. It's honestly more like a club. It's pretty fucking cool. Anyway, this quarter, it's my third quarter doing it. I'm pretty stoked about my music this time. First quarter, my songs didn't turn out super good, but also it was because it was the first time I'd ever like finished a song. I'm typically a kind of guy that will just like pick up my guitar, play it for 20 minutes, and then come up with like 2 or 3 really good riffs or like ideas that I really like, and then I'll save them like on my phone via voice recorder. And then and twiddle my thumbs some more. But what I've liked about this class is it really forces me to put shit together and finish it, so that's cool. as it stands right now on June 3rd, I actually have to. I'm doing my second presentation today, so I'm bringing in something and being like, "Here's what I'm fucking working on," and I've started what will be my final song now. Pretty great. I'm actually kind of blowing off working on it right now, because I'm just gonna resume working on it after I finish recording this podcast. But um, yeah, it's pretty great. I figured out if I distort the bass guitar, it's pretty fucking solid. It's not that I never considered it, but like it's always more. I won't say it's more interesting, but it's like a significant feat if you can make a really good bass tone for metal, because when it comes to metal, which I'm like all about, that's like my shit. Oh yeah, I never mentioned. I mentioned that I got into gaming when I was a kid, and then I went off onto a tangent about like fuck people that let go of their hobbies. I wanted to mention the order that I got into those things. Obviously, games, music, anime. Got into games when I was a kid. Got into music in middle school, like 6th or 7th grade when Guitar Hero came out. Got me into metal and rock. I've been listening ever since. And then anime I got into in 2014, which was the apex of my senior year. So pretty cool. Anyway, moving back. Yeah, bass tone, really hard to make a good clean bass tone in metal, because it's really hard to just kind of like cut through everything and have like a good bass tone. But if you just distort the bass, which plenty of people have done, it's not like it's a new idea or anything. And even then, I don't even need to make it sound like, well, there's about 10 bands that do it across 4,000. It's like, I don't know, maybe like 3/4 of them probably distort it. It's pretty great. It adds a lot of just really raw, chaotic, just fucking aggressive and vitriolic as fuck sound to it. It's great. I love it. Really happy with where it's at right now. Already got my plans on what I want to do with the song. So I'm presenting today. The class meets again next week on Monday, and then on Wednesday, next Wednesday, is the final. So just got to polish up a little bit of my demo I'm working on right now for today. And then I have a week and a half to finish the song, which is plenty of time because I do not have literally any other obligations aside from working on my music. So all it is a matter of stopping myself from getting distracted watching YouTube or whatever to finish my song. And I have plenty of time to do it. Sometimes in the past, I've been guilty of just like, oh, I have a week to do it and just like starting from scratch from there, but I already have like a shitload of ideas. I just had a really productive like Thursday and Friday, came up with a bunch of fucking great ideas, and I'm really stoked to just put them all together. So that's where life's at right now. Early in the class this quarter, somebody was like, oh yeah, for the certification, it's not really mentioned, but you need some elective credits outside of the music program. And I'm thinking I've already done those because I went to college like 2 years ago, same college, but I just didn't like have a degree or whatever that I wanted to pursue. So I'm hoping that this is technically me finishing it. If it isn't, whatever. I don't really care. I'll come back in the fall if I have to. Either way, I am going to get a job this summer. I don't know where, which is a very problematic position to be in, to not know where I even want to apply. But in some shape or form, I will return to the workforce this summer and finally enter that like adult mentality of like, I always need to have a job. I always need to have some kind of cash flow, some kind of income, because I'm an adult and I need to be able to do that. So I'm stoked to see where that takes me, because I want to finally be part of that society, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going to apply. I don't know where I'm going to get my fucking job, but we'll see what happens when July rolls around, because when I finish this quarter, I really want to take like a little bit of a break and be like, cool, what if I just didn't have anything I had to do for like a week? But I'm self-aware ahead of time that I don't want it to be too long, because once I kind of settle into just not doing anything, it'll be very hard for me to get motivated to look for a job. So it'll maybe be a week or whatever. So hopefully by July, I should at least have an idea of where I'm going to work or where I'm going to apply or whatever. So Look forward to that, perhaps. Ha 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 ha. That's where my quote unquote real life is at. That's the shitty part. That's like the business time versus the free time occupied by the absolute state of to do. I guess also, so that's the real life check-in. This is a section that should have been earlier. What are the things I'm in the middle of right now? Transitioning back into the free time bullshit, because that's what I'm all about. If you don't have, I think it's equally important to have something you have to do for business, but also have something to do for free time. I think it's equally as bad if you don't have, I think it's equally as bad if you are a NEET and you don't have a job, but you are driven in terms of like what you want to do in your free time. As bad, I think that's as bad as if you have a job, but then you go home and you have like nothing to fucking do with your time. You just turn on the boob tube and you just fucking gorge yourself for 6 hours and go to sleep or whatever. And the worst thing of all is if you're a fucking NEET and you don't even like have any appreciation for art or respect for like these hobbies that you have partaken in the past. I think that's like the most deplorable thing. Either way, if you're a NEET and you like are happy about it or you're like comfortable, fuck you. Okay, that's like the other thing. Anyway, moving on. So, what are the things I'm in the middle of? Where are we gonna be next month? Who knows? Maybe we'll wrap up. We'll at least wrap up one of them. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What are the things we're in the middle of? 3 games, 1 anime. Okay. I'm in the middle of, let's talk about the games first. I'm in the middle of playing Dark Souls Remastered with a friend. We've both played the game. He's played the game like a dozen times. I've played Dark Souls 1 like 3 times fully through. So this is not my first rodeo. It's not a big deal to me at all. It's literally just putting the time in. We are most of the way through the base game. I've never played the DLC before, so we're gonna tack that on to it. But ultimately, I just haven't finished a playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered on Remastered, essentially. So I just wanted to finish it, just be like, boom, squared that away. Next up, Nioh, which is it's basically like Dark Souls, and some people are going to hate me for even saying that. It's like Dark Souls, but with a bit more stats involved, a bit more numbers, a bit more like elemental damage and shit, and like status effects. It's a bit more RPG, but it is quite difficult. I haven't played it in a long time, probably like summer of last year or something. It's been a while. Kind of miffed about that, but I'm like 20 hours in. So how many hours am I in? Let's check really quick here. I'm past the point where I would want to restart, essentially, because like there's been some games, like for example, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. I got like 3 hours in, and then I hadn't played it for like 6 months. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna delete my save, and I'll come back some other time. Which I think is a really healthy thing to do. Nioh, I'm 19 hours in. My opinion, a bit too fucking late to restart from scratch. Okay, so there's that. Lastly, Overlord 1, which is essentially like a medieval Pikmin where you play as an evil overlord and you basically terrorize the countryside. Pretty funny, a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor. It's pretty lighthearted, pretty funny though. Played it like for, let's see, only 3 hours. Okay, well maybe that is something I can fucking nuke and come back to. We'll see. We'll see how I feel after Nioh. I think right now I can't do Dark Souls because it's something I'm playing with a friend. So even though that's like the thing that I'm the most like, I could just super casually just get through that. We'll see. Maybe Overlord is within that realm of like I can just fucking nuke the save and just come back some other time, which I feel really good about because I would rather like make the conscious call with myself and say this isn't happening right now. Let's just cut our losses and come back later, delete the save and move on. I did that with The Witcher 3 on Xbox because I put in like 3 or 4 hours and it just was not clicking with me at that point in time. I really want to get back to it though. But I was like, you know what? I'm not playing this anytime soon, so I deleted my save. So when I come back, I can like start from fresh and get the proper experiences I go through, you know? So looking at that now, that actually makes me feel pretty fucking good, I gotta be honest, to know that like, hey, if I really just want to get out of this hole faster, I can delete that save and I'd feel fine about it because it's like a super casual, like not super mechanically complicated RPG. So that's actually pretty great. That makes me feel pretty good. The anime I'm in the middle of, Fist of the North Star, otherwise known as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 0, also known as the anime where Omaiwamo Shinderu came from. You're already dead. Nani? You know, all that shit. And I watched it on that principle. When did I start it? A long time ago. Like a real long time ago. Yeah. Man, my throat is just really not happy right now. I've really just talked way too much. Give me a second here to take a swig of dew. Love that the meter is showing me my gulps were recorded. Pretty good. Anyway, I started Fist of the North Star August 2017. I watched the first 3 episodes with a few friends for my birthday celebration. Pretty funny. It was pretty funny, pretty crazy and funny. So fanny, pretty funny. All this time later, I'm only 32 episodes in, and it's like 150 episodes. At this rate, I'll be done in like 2030. You know, not gonna happen. So I'm gonna watch the show. I'm after like the first 20 episodes, it stops being episodic bullshit, which nobody likes, into like, oh, now it's actually got arcs and characters that you might actually remember. So watch the show, finish. It's split into 2 parts. There's the first part that's 100 episodes, and then the second part is like 50 episodes. And then the story and the manga itself that it's adapting is split into 6 parts. And the anime will cover parts 1 through 5. So for that, I've got to finish the first part, or finish the first season, second season. I should stop calling them parts because they cover more than one part. First season, second season, and then pick up the manga to like conclude the story, and then I'll be caught up. Pretty fucking cool. And then at that point, there won't be anything in my life that I have started, that I want to finish, or that I want to do, but haven't yet. I've been very comprehensive. I went through my entire like list of like physical games I own. I looked through my whole Xbox game achievement history, which will list every fucking game you've ever played on your Xbox. And I was like, great. Here are the things I'm in the middle of right now and I really should finish. Once I do that, an untold amount of peace and tranquility will wash over me. You know, right after I finish reading about people blowing up from being punched in a certain spot. It's going to be pretty crazy good. And I can't, I've said this so many times. I've been on this train since like a year ago. A year ago, I was like at like 12 or 13 things I was in the middle of. Haven't been super great about getting through all of them, I'll be completely honest. But I've been making progress at least. I've been at least holding myself to finish a thing, at least one thing I'm in the middle of each month. And I'll talk about what I did last month in a minute. Next month's podcast will be much more structured, I'm sure, because this is just a fucking random train of thought, really fucking crazy. So, back in May of last year, roughly, I was like, well, I want to finish all like the 20 Xbox games that I bought, just so I can be like, boom, I'm done with my Xbox. I don't buy games for it anymore for the most part. So if I get all these done, the number will never go back up because I won't ever buy any other fucking games. The numbers kind of stayed in the same place because they keep adding games that I can't get on PC, like Ninja Gaiden Black, which kind of sucks. I'm a little mad about that, but anyway, and that was the idea, to sit down and be like, I'm just going to play all my Xbox games and knock that out and then just not have to fucking deal with it anymore. was full of folly. I still turn on my Xbox like once every 5 days or so because I check up on what's backward compatible, see if I need to move any of my 360 games over and all that shit. I keep it updated and everything. I have not turned my back on it at all. I just don't use it on like a casual basis. The idea to play all of my fucking Xbox games instead of what I wanted was very foolish because I tried to plan out like what I wanted to do in terms of like anime or games and the order I wanted to do them in, which was very foolish because what would happen is I'd finish one thing and then when I get to that second thing, maybe I don't really feel jazzed about it anymore. Because I'd make the list of like 10 things and I'd be like, well, I really want to do these 10 things right now. And between them, these are the things I want to do the most. These are the things I want to do the least of these. Doesn't work. Because when I finish that first thing, my thoughts and like what I want to do are completely different at that point. So you want my advice? Don't plan out what you want to do in your free time, like multiple things in a row. Plan out each individual thing. And as a result, I know in my heart, when I finish those things I'm in the middle of, I have this galaxy brain plan. I have like the greatest plan everybody's heard of. Everybody's heard of this, okay? This is I'm only just now kind of realizing this. This is the fucking child mentality, okay? Check this out. How about when I finished all those things, I just do the one thing I'm most interested in at that exact moment, okay? How crazy is that? But here's the kicker, okay? I know, now, I'm one to call people out for hedonistic pleasure, and I know that sounds like hedonistic pleasure, but here's the fucking wacky, quacking crazy part about this, Jimbo. When you start that thing, you gotta think about it, you gotta be like, is this really what I want to do right now? And if your heart and your brain agree and you say, this is what I want to fucking do right now, you're going to do it. And instead of coming back the next day and saying, well, now I'm going to do something else, you're going to say, well, I better finish the one thing I'm in the middle of because it's just one thing. It's literally like the fact that, like right now, as I'm sitting here, the fact I can cut Overlord out and that I'm down to technically one game and one anime because the other game is playing with somebody else that I can't control that amount of time. It's like, holy shit. It's so close. And if you're down to one thing, it's not a big fucking ordeal to get through it because it's just your one focus. If you hold yourself, if you like practice your strength of will and you say, I'm just going to finish this one thing and then I can move on to the next thing. And maybe I'm really dying to get to that next thing, but at some point in time, I made my choice. It's not about the exact moment. It's like, well, I really want to do it, so you start it. It's like, well, I really want to do this, but let me think about this. This is going to be a lot of time. I really want to check this out. What am I interested in? Just the base premise, or do I want to see the entire story? Blah, 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 blah. This applies to both games and anime. And just think about it. Just really measure yourself and say, is this really what I want to fucking do right now? Is this what I want to do for like the next 3 days or the next week or the next month? Who knows how fucking long it'll take. But if you just get down to one thing and you try your best to make at least some progress every day, at least 1 or 2 episodes every day, you can go fuck off and watch YouTube. You can go fuck off and do something else. But as long as you're making progress every day, it doesn't really matter. Your life is going good. You are getting through that pile. I'm getting through the pile. That's my thing. As long as I make some progress. So it's pretty crazy. Like I'm so fucking stoked about it because in my brain there's like 6 or 7 things that jump out at me right this second that I would just love to start doing, but I keep kind of holding myself back. I keep telling myself, well, I did a good job doing this and that recently, and there's only a few things left, so I can afford to start something now. I'm trying to bargain with myself. I'm saying I can start this anime right now because I've only got a few other things left. But I know, I'm honest with myself. I know that if I start a new game or a new show, I'm 7,000 times more interested in that than I am the other things I'm in the middle of. And to do that would just be extremely foolish, because that's just taking the time away I should be spending on those other things. And I'm just like beating myself up over this, and I'm just like really holding myself back, but I think it's really good for me ultimately. I think that's just a really good exercise in self-control and watching my impulses. So that's pretty great. That's the euphoria of not being in the middle of anything. So pretty fucking cool. I'm really stoked about it. So that being said, God, this is such a fucking nightmare, isn't it? It just goes on and 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 on. Anyway, what did we do last month? That's going to be a recurring thing. So another thing I do on the absolute state is in the rows and everything for the chart or the simplified data column. I might make this chart public. For some reason, I've been kind of antsy about it. I don't know why. Some part of me is like, I don't want people to look at this. I mean, there's nothing wrong on it, essentially. But anyway, another thing I do on the absolute state of to-do, and I just started doing this like a few months later, I started the absolute state on December 22nd, and I've just updated like each month on the first day of each month exactly what the numbers are at. I'm not like, oh, well, I'm almost done with this. It's like, what is the numbers exactly fucking at midnight? Like, oh, well, I can get one thing done right now. No, fucker, you missed your fucking chance, you know? So I'm like, ooh, how about each month I can attach a note to like the date, and then like mark off each thing that I've done that month and the day I finished it. So now we can go into a more linear, more typical thing. And this is like the whole basis of why I'm like, oh, this could be a podcast. I finished 2 things last month. Okay. I have I'll mark something with a check mark if it's something that I was in the middle of when I started the month, or it'll just not have a check mark if it's something that I did within the month, which is like even better, you know, so it doesn't fucking like stick out against time. So May 2nd, I finished Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I'm a pretty big Dark Souls fan. I've played each Dark Souls at least 3 times now, actually. And I have very complicated thoughts on all of them, but that's not what this is about. Okay, I don't want to go so far down the fucking rabbit hole. Sekiro, pretty fucking great game. The combat is like the best FromSoft combat I'm aware of. I still haven't played Demon's Souls or Bloodborne, so I can't completely verify that. But one of my favorite Soulsborne streamers, Lobos Jr., Sekiro is his favorite combat, and Sekiro feels different from all the other Soulsborne games, so like it doesn't fucking matter anyway. I'm just gonna flat out say it as the best combat. I hit a fucking big bump about 10 hours in. I think everybody hits this really big bump on a certain boss, and I think that's really the where boys become men part of the game. And it was interesting fighting a boss that I couldn't beat in like 10 tries, because nothing in Dark Souls ever took me more than like 4 or 5 tries. And I was so kind of turned off by it that I just ended up not playing the game for like a whole month or whatever. And then I came back in like late April, and I beat that boss on like my 2nd or 3rd try. And I was ecstatic. I was like, I can't believe I just did that. That was fucking incredible. And after that, because my brain finally clicked, I had seen enough videos about Sekiro, and I kind of had ingrained in myself like how to play the game properly, how to really get those deflections down, the amount of aggression you have to maintain. If you're not deflecting, you need to be attacking, basically. And once you figure that out, and you understand how to play Sekiro, it's incredible. It's amazing just how fast you can fucking just destroy all the basic enemies. There were 2 or 3 bosses that I beat on my first try that other people are like, oh, it's really fucking hard. So it was really good for me. It really, it felt really good to play through. I really, really enjoyed Sekiro. Fantastic game. Really great. Doesn't really need a sequel, but I would be really down for it if it had one. I think it'd be really cool with co-op, but I'm kind of split on it because one thing I really, really appreciate about Sekiro is that it's genuinely hard and there's very little you can do to cheese anything in that game, and there is no co-op. So it's very much like if you beat Sekiro, it's like round of applause for you. Because if somebody beats Dark Souls, it's like okay, but like did you have a friend helping you through the whole game? Because then, like, I don't really fucking care. But if you beat Sekiro, there's not much you can do to fuck with the game. And I'm proud of you if you finish Sekiro. Good fucking job. It's a difficult game, but you feel an immense amount of satisfaction every time you beat a boss or you finish the game. Other thing that I finished in May. May 21st, I finished my in-depth crusade of Fallout 4 and its DLC. Fallout 4, came out in 2015, I believe, in November. I got for Christmas 2015. I was a really big fan of New Vegas and Fallout 3, so I was pretty stoked about Fallout 4. When it came out, people were they spoiled like the big twist of the game, blank or blank. And I was like, well, that kind of sounds bad, but whatever. I'm here for the exploration and to collect unique weapons. And I got into it. I got it on Xbox because I didn't have my PC at that time. I got it on Xbox One, put about 20 or 30 hours into it, ended up early on getting really distracted by settlements and weapon modification, and that just became my sole focus. I was like, I just need to find more adhesive. I need to find this. I need to level up. I was getting really mad because I would acquire all of the modifications I could have at my current level of the gun nut perk, and then I really hated that they locked the higher tiers of perks behind level caps, so you couldn't even get the best weapon modifications in the game until you're level 48, let alone the special requirement and putting the actual points into the perk. Pretty fucking dumb. I did not like that. In May of last year, Fallout 4 was one of those games I was in the middle of on Xbox, so I came back and I just fucking blitzed through the main story, didn't really give a shit. At that point, Fallout 4 was pretty much a shit game in my eyes. I think overall Fallout 4 is pretty good, but compared to Fallout 3 New Vegas, it's basically dog shit. I really do not like Fallout 4. Even the most obvious things people like about it over Fallout 3 New Vegas, the gunplay, I don't like, because Fallout 3 New Vegas, the gunplay is objectively bad and clunky, but everything feels pretty powerful when you do land those shots. VATS is way better because it actually pauses time. That's cool. In Fallout 4, the gunplay, it's finally average. It's bearable, but that's the problem. It's only average. It doesn't stand out in any capacity whatsoever. And VATS slows down time instead of pausing, which ultimately doesn't really matter. I just prefer pausing. So yeah, gunplay, fucking dog shit. I hate it. I seriously do. Every time I have to shoot something, it just feels so weak and benign. Other thing, the art style. People are like, well, at least Fallout 4 looks better than Fallout 3 New Vegas. Okay, graphically, on a genuine, literal, technical level, Fallout 4 does look better than 3 New Vegas. But in terms of how it actually visually appears, I don't agree. I do not like the cartoony, colorful aesthetic of Fallout 4. I really don't like it. Fallout 4 in general feels a lot like it's just the Dark Souls 2 style marketing, where when Dark Souls 2 came out, it was like, you're gonna die so fucking much because it's so hard, because that's what people said about Dark Souls 1. And so the Flanderization, that's the word. Fallout 4 in general feels very Flanderized from Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and I really just did not like it, because Fallout 3 and New Vegas back in the day felt kind of niche, and I really liked that, because everybody that played Fallout ended up really, really liking it, but it was still something that you're like, have you played Fallout? No, I haven't. What's it about? Oh, well, it's like a post-apocalyptic, nuclear, weird, RPG shooter game, and all the culture's, locked in the 50s, and basically, most of the time you're going to be playing through the game, there's going to be a bunch of dark humor, and you're going to fucking blow people to shreds while there's, some light jazz on. It's really funny and really cool. You're like, oh, that sounds great, and then everybody who plays it fucking loves it, Fantastic. Fallout 4, there's no moral system. They got rid of the reputation. There's a lot of things missing from New Vegas that made me really mad. They don't have multiple ammo types like in New Vegas, which was an amazing addition. They don't have the companion wheel from New Vegas, which is like when you talk to a companion, instead of even bringing up dialogue, it just like opens a wheel that has like every possible option, like talking to, switch to melee, switch to ranged, follow me, stay there, part ways, access items, just literally everything. Just when you press A on them, just this wheel comes up. It's so fucking useful that you don't have to talk to people and like scroll down. There isn't like a reputation system in New Vegas. Not only do you have like your current standing with a faction, like whether they like you or not, but you also have like your current standing with each like location, not each individual one, but like most locations that have a populace there's variance between, like, it's basically a 2-axis grid between they don't know you versus they know you very well because you're famous, and between they like you versus they don't like you. So there's like they like you but they don't really know you, and then there's like they hate you and they know you really well. You're like infamous, pretty cool, and that would affect how you talk to those people in there. So yeah, Fallout 4, not really stoked about. So this return trip on PC was because I owned it on PC. I was kind of desperate to give it a whirl, so I did. And long story short, I split my playthrough into base game and then each DLC pack following. And I collected all of the magazines, all the bobbleheads, all of the unique weapons, got all the achievements, and then moved on to the next thing for each thing. And coming out of it, once I was done, I like scrapped everything. I boiled down all the shitty like duplicate weapons and everything I didn't need, brought it all back to my home base, etc. And at the end of the day, I uninstalled it. So 160 hours later, I've done everything I ever want to do in Fallout 4, which was primarily collecting all the weapons and getting to the highest level necessary to have all the perks, and uninstalled it. And since I have all the achievements, I'm pretty comfortable and happy with the mentality that I very well might never play Fallout 4 again. And like I said, I'm pretty comfortable with that. In general, I'm pretty like scared of things that are time related, and like the concept of never doing this again, never doing that. It scares me to know that some of the games I own physically, like even now at this young age of 22, it scares me to think about there are games I physically own now that I will never play again, probably, because what am I going to do every year? Bust them open and play them for 20 minutes and be like, look, I played this year? That's not going to fucking happen. Just that mentality. Just when I hate to get deep right now, but I guess that's just what I want to do, because it is my podcast, and that I like to get deep a lot of the time, because emotions and what things mean to me are the absolute most important thing in my entire life. In like high school in like 2013 or 14, I graduated in 2014 for reference. I guess this has to be kind of a primer, because if I make this a constant thing, people need to start here, right? Somewhere around there, I read this like classic, now like a meme almost, that's like, at some point when you were playing Halo custom games in middle school, one day you and your friends got offline and you would never play again. And like, I don't know if that still hits people because they've probably heard it or seen it before, but the first time I read that really fucked me up. Because I was like, that's terrifying. Because like, it will happen. You'll stop talking to people. You will fall out of contact with people. And then you'll get to the point where you haven't talked to them for a couple of years. So what are you going to do? Reach out now? There's so much to catch up on. What if they're not even the same person? What if you don't even like the same things? What if they fervently dislike something you really care about? And yeah, I just like the first time I was like, yeah. So it's just weird to think about, isn't it? That you can have this constant where every day you get on and you already see like, because I just flash back to when I played Halo custom games on like 3 and Reach a bunch. You get on and there's already like 4 or 5 of your buddies online and they're already in a party. You join the party like, hey, what's up? You're having a great time. And you just join them and you just have a fucking blast, you know? And it gets to the point where you have to be the guy, because you get up a little bit earlier, you have to be the guy that starts the party, and then slowly people will filter in, and then you got the full party, and then it's over. And then it gets to the point where maybe you just don't really feel like playing the Halo custom games, so you just kind of dip out, and then before you know it, other people are less interested because there's less people there, and it's kind of a snowball effect, and then nobody's doing it anymore. And all this time later, I'm not playing Halo 3 or Reach custom games anymore. And it's just really fucking, it really fucks with me, dude. When I suffered my first close person death, so to speak, like the first person I knew that died was my grandma Barbara in 2012 or 2013. When I heard the news at first, I wasn't really close with her. I don't mean to say that like I talked to her all the time, but she was a grandparent. She was somebody I knew that died. You know, she was gardening and she like hit her head on something and it caused like a really bad hemorrhage that when they got her to the hospital, she was unresponsive and just my parents drove up there and she was gone before they got there. But it was really sudden. But when I heard the news, I was like, oh, that fucking blows. But then once I like went up to my room right afterward, like 7 minutes later, I just started kind of uncontrollably crying and weeping because the reality hit me that I would never talk to her again. I would never see her walking around again. I would never see her in general again. And it's not even the fact that I was close with her. I liked her. I liked all 4 of my grandparents. Now there's only my mother's dad left, which is unfortunate. But just the sheer fact that it's like this is something you can never do again. And it's not even about regret. It's not that like, oh, there's so much I wanted to do. It's just like this is just flat out not a fucking option anymore. Whenever I lost my dog Edgar last year in December, and it came pretty fucking quickly. It was like he was like 10 or 12 years old. I don't know. It's probably shitty that I don't know exactly, but he was pretty old. He was at least a decade old, and his health had been deteriorating, but not in like any significant manner. It was just that like he moved a little bit slower, and I do genuinely mean just a little bit. He wasn't quite as hyperactive. You needed to be a little bit louder to get his attention or whatever, but other than that, he was totally fine, right? And I do genuinely mean like there was not really anything wrong with him. There wasn't like any signs that like, oh, well, this could be pretty bad. And just randomly, he just started puking a bunch. We brought him to, well, I didn't bring him, but anyway, he went to a vet. They were like, okay, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with him. They like gave him the full scan and everything. They gave him some medicine that stopped him from puking on day 2. Day 3, he resumed. And then I had to stay up through the night of day 3, pretty much sure that he was going to die in that span of time. And I was really fucked up by that because I just had to watch him for like 6 hours by myself while everybody was asleep. I couldn't like bring my computer upstairs. Like, what am I going to do? If he starts puking, we set out a tarp. I'm sorry if this is like TMI, but this is just like what I'm doing. This is just me just spitting shit at this point. This is just what this podcast will always be. It's literally just me. Sorry if it's not interesting. He just started puking, and so we set out a tarp, and we had to like we had to like leash him to like a leg of furniture and shit. And I just had to watch him for 6 hours. He made it through the night, but then we just took him in the next morning to be put down. So he was gone in like 4 days. It was also very sudden. And I'll be honest, I haven't cried over Edgar, really. I get really teary-eyed when I think of him and I see pictures of him, but I haven't actually cried because I have a lot of regrets related to him, but that's too much. Anyway, just the fact that I will never see him running around again. I'll never hear him barking at the door to be let in because he did his business in the backyard. The flip side is, of course, fortunately, he won't ever piss in the basement again, so I won't have to clean that up. He won't ever, I won't ever have to go back outside and scoop his poop from the backyard again. But that was 10 years, and it's just like time is something that really fucks with me because we got him, yeah, it was 10 years. We got him in the summer I had between like 7th and 8th grade. And I remember the day very vividly. And what's just really weird for me is placing that in time and knowing, I'm just like totally going off on a tangent on this, I'm sorry, is knowing that when I got Edgar was before I even got to high school, let alone graduated high school. It was before I was interested in girls. It was before I really got into online gaming. You know, it's just really weird to know that Edgar is timestamped before all these other significant things in my life. And now that he's gone, it's like, well, I'm returning to a life I had in 2006 or 2007, and that's just really, really fucking weird. It's like 2008. Anyway, yeah, it's just really weird. That's all I can really say. It's just really fucking weird. Mm. I don't even know where this really... It stemmed from Fallout 4 and never playing it again. That's all just from the notion that you don't know when the last time you'll ever play something is. And that's something that's kind of like overwritten a lot of my experiences in life the past few years. When I watch a show and it comes to an end, I'm like, holy fuck, I've seen everything there is now. And I don't know. I almost feel like I have to pay way more attention to things because I don't know if I'm ever returning to them, right? If I watch a really good show that I'm really into, I feel like I have to like super focus myself on it because I don't know if I'm coming back to it. I don't know if I'm ever playing this again. It's not even a matter of a possibility, but not the focus is what if I die in 2 years, you know? But it's like, well, what if I live a full life to like 88 or whatever, you know? I don't know. It's just really weird. That's just a constant like I don't know if that's an existential thing or if it's like a temporal thing. Temporal dread, is that a thing? I'm sure this technically counts as existential dread, but yeah, I don't know. Really messes with me though. Anyway, Fallout 4 is not something that I would consider that I need to worry about never playing again because I'm just not a fan. I would overall give it like a 6 or like a 7 out of 10, but when you compare to how good Fallout 3 New Vegas are, it's like a 3 or a 4 for me personally. I really do not like it. Haven't played 76, not really interested in it. Really, really fucking hope that the next Elder Scrolls game isn't even shittier with like even less to choose because Skyrim is a flanderization of well, it's not a flanderization, it's a simplification. I don't want to misuse the word. It's a simplification of Oblivion, and Fallout 4 is a simplification of Fallout 3. So I really don't want things to go to shit even further, and I really hope the next Elder Scrolls game they pull up their sleeves and they say, okay, well, how about we actually make like a good game? Because we haven't in a long time, like an objectively good game. Skyrim, I enjoy. I like Skyrim, but that's because I like the premise of you train a skill to get better in it, which is just a fact of Elder Scrolls. And yeah, I don't know. Going back to things Fallout 4 didn't carry over from New Vegas. One thing that made me really, really mad once I noticed it, just another one-off note, is that Fallout 4 brings a lot of songs back from Fallout 3, but as far as I can tell, they didn't bring back any songs from New Vegas, which to me screamed that they did not want to acknowledge New Vegas fucking happened, because New Vegas was Obsidian shitting all over Fallout 3 in like half the development time. Fallout New Vegas came out a bit more buggy, but it has like 4 times the content Fallout 3 did, and it's just staggering. So, yeah. Fallout 4, probably worth playing, but I don't like it. Fuck Fallout 4, okay? So, that concludes the update part of the podcast, okay? I've actually got more to talk about. It's really crazy. This is going on for way too fucking long. We're sitting at almost 2 hours now, but I just have so much I want to pontificate for. Hopefully I'll have some kind of topic timestamps somewhere, but at the same time, that would involve re-listening to the whole thing, and while I might do that once, I don't know. Anyway, that concludes the update part, which is the structured part. That's what you can expect every time I check in, basically. But now I've got a couple other things left to mention. I've actually got to... there we go. Okay, I had to write down one more thing before I forgot it. So, now, let's talk about another thing I've been thinking about. And I haven't been thinking about this deeply. This is just something that recurs to me. How many... Okay, well, that opens up like a question. That's not how I want to do it. On the internet... This is better. Yeah, it's a way better way to start. On the internet, you've got a bunch of different ways to post something, or like post a message, right? You've got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got YouTube, you got SoundCloud, you got Discord, you know, you got a lot, you got Steam, you can even make a Steam group and make announcements in it. You got a lot of fucking things you can do. But when is the right place to use it, and how is the right place to use it? Should you... I try to put stuff on Twitter every now and again. I got rid of my Facebook page for Vague Luminary a long time ago because I just don't like Facebook. I've really fallen out of favor with Facebook over the past 3 years. It's just a continual downward spiral for me. But Twitter, I like to post every now and again when I just don't feel like it's proper for direct feed on the Discord server. But I try to make the Discord server the primary place for everything. And I'm in this interesting mix of shit, so to speak, where hypothetically all of my thoughts and musings should go into direct feed because that's like my little special moderated zone that's purely my curated thoughts and ideas. And I woke up like 4 hours ago, so I don't know why I'm yawning. I think it's just all the talking is making me sleepy. But that is my place. You know, it's literally my spot within my Discord server, you know? So to me that makes the most sense. But at the same time, if I keep everything insulated to Discord, nobody outside will ever find it, which sucks. Now, all of my things, my Discord, my Twitch, my YouTube, etc., all only link back to Discord because I not only want, but I maintain the Discord server as my home base for everything related to me. That's why in the database channel, you can see like a list of like the 20 sites that I'm on and where all my profiles are on those. But the problem is, if nobody's following me on Twitter, then what's the point, right? I don't know. It feels like a fucking waste of time almost. And I don't know if it's ever worth posting about what I'm doing on Facebook because I was fucking yawning. I don't know if it's worth posting on Facebook because I don't know how many people even look at Facebook anymore. Facebook has devolved into sharing really shitty dead memes, and I don't like it, because I used to be a pretty fucking fond user of Facebook way back when the meme war officially started in the early 2000s, or the late 2000s, my bad. I made my account in like 2009 maybe. That's when the meme war started, not this fucking 2013, 2014 bullshit. You don't know shit about memes, okay? You don't know fucking shit if you're like, oh, memes started being a thing. No, okay, memes started being a thing even earlier than the 2000s. Let me be perfectly honest. I mean, when I mean the meme war, I mean like the niche level of popularity of memes, but not quite like completely underground, because memes had been a thing probably since like the late 90s, but yeah, and memes started out being extremely crude and edgy jokes. The punchline, way back in the early 2010s, was just anything 9/11 related. People were really offended by 9/11. So every time you'd scroll down Facebook and somebody make a 9/11 meme, you're like, whew, oh my god, oh Jesus. And now that shit's paltry, you know? Now it's like, oh, 9/11, what's the big fucking deal? Which is unfortunate. And I think that kind of mentality has ended up expanding into so many parts of society, including like people sharing videos of like a street fight busting out and people like laughing at it or sharing it because like, look at this dumb motherfucker, or like, look at blah, blah, blah. And that is not good for the fabric of society. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't want to deep dive these topics. Anyway, I don't know when or where is the best place to post things. Direct feed is my default, but I do like to post on Twitter from time to time. And also, they can be interpreted differently. Ooh, can we re-say that? They can be interpreted differently. Because when I read something, if I post something on Twitter versus I post the same exact thing on direct feed, it just feels different, you know? But, also, what was I thinking of? Oh yeah. Is it worth posting the same thing across multiple places? Because I just remember one, I think this just ruined like my view on this forever when on Facebook I shared a pretty dank meme on a page, and then I also shared it on my personal profile with the exact same caption. So people that liked the page and followed me on Facebook saw the exact same caption for both things. So then one guy was like, I'm going to be clever, I'm going to comment that exact thing into the fucking comments on this guy's profile post. And then I was like, ugh, fuck this guy. And I don't know, I guess that just, for me, ruined the idea of posting something more than once in, like, more than one place, you know? So, I'd hate to, like, if I have a funny joke, if I have a funny two-sentence joke that's like a really shitty pun or whatever, I could post it on direct feed and Twitter and Facebook, but I don't know. I feel bad for the people that know me on all of those platforms and therefore see it 3 times. And then they're like, wow, this guy really thinks this joke is fucking funny, and it really isn't. The second time wasn't funny, and the third time almost makes me angry. So I really don't know like what's the best way to do that. I don't know. So there's that. That's one of the topics. I got 2 more. Okay, I got 2 more in me. I know we've been going for a long fucking time. I know, man. Trust me. I've been sitting here the whole time. Imagine how I feel. Okay. Next topic. YouTube comments. Okay. So, recently, I've resumed posting YouTube comments every now and again. After not doing so for like 4 years or whatever. Because when YouTube was first a thing, and a bunch of people got into it, 2009, 2010, everybody... Oh, Jesus, I really don't know why I'm yawning so much. I might pause if I really need to yawn for like 7 hours straight. Everybody got into YouTube, and they're all posting comments because they've got funny things to say or whatever. Nowadays, at some point I just stopped because I saw that the people that had the top comments would have the top comments. So it's like, boom, they've got the first page done, and first of all, not many people look at the comments, which is unfortunate. I feel like comments are a pretty important part of videos. but also it's even rarer for people to go past the first page of like the top comments. Typically I read like the first page of top comments and I move on, because that's where all the funniest jokes and the best timestamp memes are. So my mentality has been like, what's the fucking point of posting a comment? Nobody's gonna see it. Nobody sorts by newest first comments anyway. But god damn. But I saw a new upload from a guy, I watched it, and then I immediately commented, and I got some likes, and I had that dopamine rush, and I was like, wow, isn't it fucking great? I don't know. So I feel a bit better about it now. Maybe if my jokes are clever enough, they can battle against the top comments to have like 300 or 500 likes, Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, another facet of that is, I've never really understood why like top content creators would comment on other people's videos. Now I instantly understand that you don't think I understand that you understand why they understand they do it, but I understand. You comment on other people's videos because you want to build like the community and be like, yeah, I also like your stuff and I enjoy watching it, But to me, it's always been like, it's always looked like a grab for attention almost. To be like, oh yeah, look, hey, it's me on this unrelated video, look at me, ha ha ha. I've never really got that. It's like, well, if you want to thank somebody for something, go fucking tweet them or something. I don't know. I feel like Twitter is a much more, at least compared to YouTube comments, it's definitely a much more direct form of communication than YouTube comments, than like commenting and hoping the uploader will respond to or whatever. So, I don't know, it makes total sense to, Jesus Christ, to comment on a fellow content creator's video, but at least, okay, if you're like, I really like this part, I really like blah, 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 if you're commenting on the actual video, but if you're making like a dumb fucking meme about like the topic at hand or whatever, just don't even bother, okay? Like, you've already got the clout, you've got your 400,000 subscribers, so it's not gonna, and you've got your fucking verified tick mark, it's not like people aren't gonna fucking upvote you, buddy. Fuck you, basically. So that's my thoughts on YouTube comments. But moving along, we're finally on the last topic, which is a very recent topic. Recently, I've had a falling out with a YouTube channel, not a like social one. I don't talk to them, and I've stopped talking to them. It's literally just like, they've uploaded enough videos in a row that I'm just kind of like, that's all right. I actually have to see if it's two channels, because I think the same thing happened a little bit earlier. But they just had enough channels in a row enough videos in a row that I was just not kind of fucking stoked about it, And it just rubs me the wrong way, because I don't want to call them out directly. In general, on the podcast, I really don't want to call out people, because even though I have zero clout or presence on the internet, and therefore it's like super safe for me to do it because there won't be any repercussions. And I don't mean that as in people won't find it. I mean it as in like I can't like tell people to shit on anybody. I don't want to do it just because in general I don't like the idea of people fighting each other on the internet. But anyway, we'll see how well this clip ages if in the future I just start calling out people and just be a total shithead. Anyway, I'm not going to call out this guy in particular, but I will just talk about his content. So he made a bunch of funny short like skit videos, like 1 to 2 minutes long, and then every now and again he'll do funny like commentary videos that are like 10 minutes long. And just I get the same feeling from a different guy, and I'm probably close to unsubscribing from them as well. But it's just that like when they do their commentary videos, sometimes it's less about actually discussing the content and like the fundamental reason why they're there, and instead they kind of go off on a tangent, and they might be like, ooh, why would you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And just like, I get this really weird feeling from these people that do it. This most recent guy in his video, he just started shitting on this guy's comedy video that admittedly wasn't very good, but it had its reasons to be funny. He mentions early on that, like, oh, it's a really relatable, see, this show makes sense to me because it's relatable situations. And even if I don't find it funny, I can understand why somebody else would. He literally opens up his video by talking about how subjective comedy is, and then he's like, I don't get it. I don't understand why this guy would put on a bunch of fucking funny voices and do a bunch of super absurdist things that literally are not relatable at all, and how anybody would find that funny. And it's like, I don't know, cartoons, like, how is it impossible for you to find something, like, you don't have to laugh at something, you don't have to find it personally funny, but you should be able to see anything and be like, well, I can see how this would be funny to somebody else, but he just fucking rags on it. And the real nail in the coffin for me that made me just like almost disgusted by him was the fact that he has the gall to say, this guy's got millions of subscribers, he's easily got a lot of money, he's got a brand in stores. Now I'm kind of probably making it obvious, but he says, and I can't imagine having this much money and influence and making this shitty of content, essentially. And to me, that really just sounds like jealousy. It really does. And I don't want to hear about your fucking jealousy, buddy. I'll be completely honest. I'm the same kind of person that will shit on people and be like, why, when you have this much power and you have this much fame, why is the content still shit? I'm definitely the kind of guy to do that, but I won't do it under the basis of saying that I don't understand the appeal, or I don't think anybody would ever like this, or that I think it's completely fucked up that anybody thinks this is good. When my channel doesn't get enough fucking views, and I have to attach a fucking built-in video ad. And it's like, okay, funny, sponsorships, whatever. Cool, fine. I understand you need to make the bread. I get it. I really do. Good on you for getting those sponsorships. You get to the end of the video, though, and there's like 2 minutes left. And I'm like, okay, cool. You've got this funny segue into an ad for like 40 seconds. But I really wanted to see if he had anything else to say for himself before he ended the video, because I'm like, well, I'm really feeling pretty shitty about you at the end of this video. And I was feeling shitty like 70% through, but I was like holding on because I'm like, well, maybe he's gonna have an epiphany. Maybe it's a video with an arc like Endless Jess, where he gets really mad at something, but then he just kind of like resolves it with himself because he's like, well, I guess it's really not that bad because it could be worse and blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't. This guy doesn't. And when the ad starts playing, it's the entire last 2 minutes of the video. And I like scrolled through with like the fucking like preview, and I was like, why? That fucking blows, dude. I don't like it. I don't know. Unsubscribe. Really not happy with him. He's on my shit list right now. Not a bad person. That's the important thing. Just because somebody says things I disagree with doesn't make them a bad person. They don't deserve any negativity. It's just that, like, I'm not jiving with their content anymore, and I don't care about their fucking funny skits, because when they shit on other people in commentary, most of the time it makes sense, but sometimes, just a little too personal. You just make it a bit too personal, and just not a fan. I don't know. So yeah, that's that. That's the last topic I wanted to talk about. We've made it. It's probably been like exactly 2 hours now. I know I said 2 hours before. When I mentioned 7 minutes way earlier on, it was 2:29. So I'm going to guess it was around vaguely 2 hours, like 1:50 maybe. I don't know. But yeah, just like that, we're at the end of this. So thanks for listening. I don't really know what to say to close this out, because this is the first time I've tried like actually doing one of these. But thanks for listening. Enjoy more long form content. Seek that which is meaningful, not which is fast. Always strive to be a better person than you were yesterday. And I don't mean this shit half-assedly. I mean it genuinely. Be like, okay, well, I did this pretty good. And do as good as you are today. At least be that good tomorrow. essentially. If you do something, and it's not about like playing a game to playing a game to a certain amount of skill or whatever. It's like, how on top of your shit were you? If you can at least stay on top of the shit you're on top of right now, that's good enough, because you can slowly be like, well, there's a lot of other things I really should be doing, but instead of trying to make like a sweeping like life change and do everything better, just focus on the shit you're doing really good right now, block that shit in, nail it, make sure it's fucking Gucci as fuck, like a Gucci bag. And then when you feel like it, be like, what if I started doing this extra thing a little bit better? If it starts shaking the foundation, stop it, drop it. You don't fucking need it. Stop it, drop it. You don't fucking need it. Stop it, drop it. You don't fucking need it. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Do things better. Always. Do things by yourself if you can. Because people respect people that can do things by themselves and get their own fucking shit together. All right? And finish the things you're in the middle of while I'm on this little, like, impassioned rant at the end here. Check out more stuff. Don't throw things in the bin just because the central premise doesn't apply to you. I don't know. Whatever. I'm kind of just spitballing now. So, it's been forever. Thanks for joining me on the Luminary Life Update podcast. I really need to figure out an official title for this. Maybe I'll have it next month. Maybe I'll do it more often than a month, because I think a monthly podcast is like way too fucking sparse. I think a weekly one is way better, but a month is like the earliest I can promise that I have something to talk about every month and talk about the absolute state and whatever. But I do have an entire bank of like things I wanted to talk about before and expand upon. So maybe I'll do more podcasts. Who knows? This has been really fucking long. Don't ever expect another one of these to be as long, even though whether or not there might be longer ones in the future, because it might just happen. Okay. So thank you for listening. Have a good day. Have a good evening. All that other shit other people have definitely said before. So yeah, and get a good night's rest today. You deserve it. When you get a real good night's sleep, and I'm not even, this isn't a bit, this isn't a fucking ad. Just sleep as well as you can sometimes. Sometimes just go to bed way earlier than you have to, because God, does it feel good to wake up when your body wakes up instead of when your alarm tells you to wake up. All right? So, thanks for listening. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.